Hello, welcome to the channel. I'm Sean.
I'm Chris.
And today we are brought here to check out.
Gojira, Born for One Thing.
This has got to be better than the first
Champ.
song that we checked out. It was like unanimous that we definitely picked the wrong song to start with. Because we went into it thinking that it was going to be like a metal song, and it just turned out to be a bunch of oohs and ahs.
Yeah.
And I mean, great cause, whatever. But as an introduction to the band, it was kind of like,
Do I want to revisit that?
Because, like, honestly, if it wasn't for the amount of people that said that this is not how they sound like, we probably would have never listened to them again.
For sure.
And we usually try to give a band multiple times, but sometimes if you don't like a song enough, it's kind of like,
It's just off-putting enough.
Yeah. So, not to just sit there and bash another song by them, but
We'll see.
that's why we're here with this one. This is a fairly new one by them, but there's been a whole bunch that was suggested that we should have checked out, and this one was up there with the amount of people that actually suggested it. So
Fair enough.
we'll see. And they did say that they did start off as just Godzilla.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. And so it wasn't like a racist slur when we were like Gojira. That's what they actually did. But
Yeah, my dad collects all that stuff, so
Right.
that's what clicked when I heard the name.
it's a massive Godzilla collection. But I'm excited to check it out and see how wrong we were. To pick
Hopefully, I'm delightfully surprised.
Right. So can you think of anything before we just hop in?
No, ready to check it out?
All right. Well, if you're new here, hit subscribe. We notice and appreciate it. I think you're pretty cool if you do.
And leave a comment. We like to read them and reply.
Yeah. Born for One Thing. It's already heavier.
Okay.
Passing
That was
notes.
smooth.
Passing notes in school.
Oh, I don't think that's notes. That's confusing.
So this is like more of what I pictured when I hear about them being on like a top metalcore list and shit like that. So maybe the last time it was just it's hard to get over expectations. And like, it's like, oh, it's going to be heavy because it's on this heavy metal list. And then it wasn't. So it was like a double negative, you know? It's like, tink, tink. feels like the vocals are like very low in the mix. Like
Yeah.
everything is louder on average than what it is compared to the vocals.
Yeah.
You know, so
Well, and the drums are really standing out to me too. I don't know, even it's just some high hits he's doing, but yeah, it stands out over the vocals. Like,
Yeah. I mean, I always consider the vocals just to be like another part of the instrument, but at the same time, I would have like the same opinion. Like, well, the bass you can't really hear that unless you're specifically like looking for it. You know, like trying to find that balance and having a good sound engineer.
Nothing getting lost, kind
Right.
of. Yeah. That was a switch.
Yeah. Yeah, that was just yeah. Props to everybody that worked on the video. But yeah, the song I like the music a hell of a lot better than the chant, the first
sure,
song that we
yeah.
listened to. But at the same time, this could have been an instrumental and it would have sounded damn near the same.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, like the only lyrics that stood out was during the chorus, and it's the born for one thing. The rest,
Lost in it. Yeah.
it's just so low in the mix that it's like it kind of just made everything else sound flat because you could barely hear it. So
You're trying to hear it, and yeah.
right, well, and plus it's like if you're sitting there listening to something and then you just add a muffled noise on top of that, the muffled noise doesn't add, but it takes away from everything else a little bit. So it made everything else just kind of like less crisp.
Yeah.
You know, but this is by far
It
closer
definitely was a lot more, towards
Yeah.
that metal side.
and like more towards what we would normally listen to as
Yeah.
well. That the mixing is about the only complaint that I have about it. The video is cool. The all the musicians kicked ass, everything like that. It sounded great. Just the balancing of the mix, I think, is it was hard to not focus on that after I noticed it.
Yeah.
You know, so that could probably be more my fault than anybody else's. But
No, I agree. I mean, it was just hard to differentiate that noise
yeah,
from the music. Like,
yeah,
like you said, it gets lost.
yeah. I mean, because like I said, I don't. We listen to so much like foreign music that like I don't necessarily care if I can understand the lyrics, but I want to be able to hear the instrument,
Yeah.
kind of situation. So, but yeah, it's definitely a lot better. So, can you think of anything before we get out of here?
No, glad we checked it out. Glad that it is more towards that metal side. So yeah,
Right.
at least there's a little bit more drive to check more out. So.
Yeah, yeah, I'm definitely a lot more excited now to check more because like there are plenty of bands that I like that it's like, man, I really like this song. I just wish it sounded better engineering wise.
Yeah.
And there just isn't anything that you can do about it as a fan. I mean, our setup here is really good for like sound. We've never had any issues like with balance or bass or treble or anything like that with the speakers that we use for the reaction videos and things
Right.
like that. So I don't think that it's on our end.
No, I definitely think it's more of a muffled thing when they made
Yeah.
the song.
So it makes it to where there's like really nothing that we could do to up that. You know, like if we were listening on a shitty little set of speakers, it's kind of like, well, how dynamic do you expect it to be?
Right,
Kind of thing.
right.
But yeah, it was definitely a lot better than and more. I'm not gonna say a lot better because better is a subjective term.
Right.
This I favor this more
Yeah.
than the previous.
Personally, yeah.
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 But yeah, can you think of anything before we get out of here?
Glad we checked it out.
Yeah. Well, thanks for watching with us. See you next time.